大家好，我是老于啊。早上发个视频，结果爆了。
I posted a video this morning, and it went viral. Everyone's in the comments saying, I want money over my life. But it's not about that. Why sit at home on a sunny day doing nothing? I made over 1,000 yuan after working for just 1.5 days. If I don't work, I don't make money, and that's just wasting a good day. I understand what everyone's saying, but you all watch too many little videos from back home. It's not as dangerous here as you think. If a missile comes, just take cover. My workplace is safer than outside.
A Chinese worker in Israel posted this video on Douyin. In the comment section, people were shocked. They said, "You can make over 1,000 yuan a day?" Someone replied, "Did you just find out that people make that much working abroad?" Another user commented, "Do you know how many people in China envy you right now?" In recent years, as China pushes forward its Belt and Road Initiative, more Chinese companies have moved into the Middle East, and the number of Chinese workers has rapidly grown. They mainly work in international trade, construction, and real estate. Recently, as the conflict in the Middle East escalates, many bosses are unwilling to return to China. They say it's because they can't make any money back home. Mr. Luo, who has been working on construction and real estate projects in Saudi Arabia for 2 years, says he can't make money in China anymore. He lost millions and wanted to make a comeback in Saudi Arabia, but the war has halted his plans. Even so, he never considered going back. Mr. Luo said, "I ventured into Saudi Arabia, but now the situation in the Middle East is unstable, messing up my plans. Too many Chinese people have come here, and those who were scared went back. People like us, who are afraid of poverty, not death, we're staying. The war's impact is huge. Shipping has stopped, materials are out of stock, prices will definitely rise. For the shipments that are still going, the price has skyrocketed. They're charging thousands of extra dollars per container." The war in Iran has entered its 4th week. In Iran, at least 1,000 people have died, and over 10,000 have been injured. Mr. Chi, who works in Iran, said, "I work with bulk commodities, all sorts of raw materials. I've been working in Iran for 2 years. It's taken me so long to develop this market. I can't go back now because I have over 6 million yuan worth of goods in Tehran. If I go back, can I be sure? I have to stay." Mr. Chi revealed that he was once in debt from foreign trade and went to Iran to open up that market. With Iran's internet blocked and the whole country cut off, he can only use the network of a neighboring country in a border town to stay in touch. He doesn't plan to go back to China. Ms. Kong, a Chinese woman in Dubai, was deeply in debt back home and cried every day. After a friend introduced her to a job at a Chinese supermarket in Dubai, her monthly salary rose from 10,000 to 20,000 yuan, and she learned how to do business. Within 3 years, she paid off her debt and brought her whole family to live with her. Ms. Kong said, "It's been exploding here for the past few days. Many Chinese businesses have laid off workers, and many people are going back. The workers don't want to leave. They want to keep making money here. I came to Dubai to do business when I was in debt. I bought a house here, and my son is going to school here. I'm saving money for retirement. Now, with both children and parents to support, there's no job to go back to in China." On March 18th, the world's largest liquefied natural gas production base, located in Ras Laffan Industrial City in Qatar, was hit by Iranian missile attacks. Mr. Lee, a contracted laborer at the base, said, "I work on a construction site near the base, earning over 20,000 yuan a month. I found missile shrapnel on the site, and we had to stop working for 2 days. Most of the Iranian missiles were intercepted, and I heard that the air defense missiles are running low. They might evacuate, but flights haven't resumed yet. I don't plan to go back." Despite the ongoing war in the Middle East, why are these Chinese bosses and workers unwilling to return home? It's simple. The economic situation back in China has become so dire that they feel the risk of returning outweighs the threat posed by the conflict in the Middle East. Let's take a look at the current situation in mainland China. Yiwu in Zhejiang is known as the world's factory. The conflict in Iran has had a severe impact on this largest small commodity hub. Due to Iran's blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, some of Yiwu's merchant ships are stranded in nearby waters. Some traders have already lost over 1 million yuan. Zhu Yue, the head of an outdoor goods foreign trade company in Yiwu, explained that a shipment sent to the Middle East before the Chinese New Year should have arrived at Dubai by now, but it has been stuck in the Indian Ocean due to the blockade. Zhu Yue told the media, "The goods we sent to Israel now have to take a detour around the Cape of Good Hope in Africa, and the shipping cost has tripled. Normally, a container would cost around 15,000 yuan, but now it's 40 to 50,000 yuan. The cost pressure is being passed on to the merchants and customers." It's not only businesses in the Middle East that are affected. One Yiwu merchant shared, Dubai is an important trade hub for global shipping. Many Yiwu traders ship goods through Dubai to other European and African markets. So with the conflict in the Middle East, trade in other regions will also be impacted. What's worse is that due to the uncontrollable risk of war, shipping companies have had the right to abandon goods during transit without taking responsibility. The head of a Yiwu freight forwarding company told the media, "Our company has had dozens of containers sent to Dubai, abandoned at ports in India and Malaysia by shipping companies. Some of our peers have had hundreds of containers abandoned halfway." Chinese seafarer Mr. Gu told Chinese media that although some ships have passed through the Strait of Hormuz, others have been bombed while trying to cross. Most ships are now avoiding the strait because, as he put it, the ship belongs to the ship owner, the goods belong to the merchant, but my life is mine. Mr. Gu said that he and the merchant ship he works on were stranded in the Strait of Hormuz for over 10 days, and the ship is now facing a supply crisis. To conserve resources, the crew has reduced the amount of fresh water provided. The laundry room is closed periodically, and they've had to cut back on the crew's meals by reducing the vegetables and using seawater to flush toilets. Now let's take a look at the commercial areas in first-tier cities. A netizen who visited the Xuhui district in Shanghai couldn't believe it was Shanghai. She said, "Is this the Xuhui district? There's no one on the street. It's so bleak. It's 1 p.m. and there's not a single person. The rent here is hundreds of thousands per month. I don't know how these businesses are holding up. Shanghai now isn't what it used to be. There's no life left." A netizen cryptically commented, "A good hand of cards played poorly." Another one said, "When delivery people are tired from delivering takeout, they watch videos of pretty girls live streaming. And the girls, when they're tired of live streaming, are ordering takeout at home. Perfect cycle." Someone else said, "Shanghai's local birth rate is the lowest in the world. It can only rely on attracting outsiders. Unfortunately, now even outsiders can't survive here." Another comment said, "Actually, I seriously doubt China has 1.2 billion people." A newly uploaded video shows that Chongqing's Shapingba district, once bustling with activity, is now deserted. Most of the shops on the pedestrian street have closed.
I
didn't expect it to end up like this. This store is closed, and this one too. This one, and that one, all closed. Oh my gosh, even McDonald's and Melody KTV are closed. It's only March. Is it the bad economy? Everything around me is so empty. How many people even remember this place? There's so much dust in the mall. It looks like it's been empty for a long time. The underground mall at Three Gorges Square looks like this now. The elevator's even rusty. Walking inside, I only see 2 stray cats. It feels like we can never go back to how it was.
A netizen commented, 10 years ago, Shapingba Underground Mall and Yangjiaping Underground Mall must visit places for shopping. Since e-commerce and online shopping came along, I haven't been back. Another person said, "Let me put it this way. 10 years ago, my salary was 3,000, and now my salary is still 3,000. 10 years ago, hot pot cost 50 yuan per person. Now it's more than 100. More netizens shared how they miss the old Shapingba, but they haven't been back in a long time because they don't have money. A Chinese netizen uploaded a humorous video titled, "These feet witness the economic decline over the years." It sharply described China's economic situation. Here's what it shows. In 2018, the foot massage shop was attended by a beautiful woman dressed elegantly. In 2019, 2 girls served a customer. In 2020, it was a cheerful girl. In 2021, still a beauty, but with a serious expression. In 2022, the lighting was dim, and the girl, possibly from the countryside, worked with a gloomy face. In 2023, the scene suddenly changed, and it was hard to describe. In 2024, the grassroots agent, a Chaoyang auntie, walked in. In 2025, a shirtless old man appeared. By 2026, there was only a foot bath bucket in the frame, with a pack of medicinal herbs thrown in, and nothing else. The comment section exploded. Netizens said, "Bro, you're really talented. Incredible." Others said, "This is the real Chinese economy. 2019 was the peak, and it's been falling ever since. By 2023, it had a cliff-like drop, and by 2026, it's barely hanging on." Let's take a look at China's famous ghost town, Yumen in Gansu. In the old city area of Yumen, many residential buildings are vacant. Windows and doors are sealed up. It said that you can buy an entire building for just 5,000 yuan, but no one wants them. Some have even offered them for free, but still no one has come to live there. Yumen used to be a prefecture-level city, once bustling with life, but now it has been downgraded to a county-level city. The population in the old city area has dropped sharply from over 100,000 to just over a few thousand people. Yumen was a city born from oil, and China's first oil base was built here. PetroChina started here. Historically, its economy was on par with Lanzhou, the capital of Gansu province. However, as oil resources dwindled, the old city area became affected by high altitude, cold winters, poor transportation, pollution from oil extraction, and ground subsidence, causing a large-scale migration of the population. Eventually, it became a terrifying ghost town. The ghost town phenomenon is not unique to Yumen. Many cities across various provinces have been labeled as ghost towns due to overdevelopment, sparse populations, or economic stagnation. Some media have listed several cities that transitioned from prosperity to decline in 2025. First is Langfang in Hebei, located between Beijing and Tianjin. Once seen as a real estate hotspot due to its status as a special area, developers built large residential areas hoping to attract overflow from Beijing and Tianjin. However, high property prices and Beijing's purchasing restrictions led to a significant decline in its appeal. Coupled with a weak local economy and industrial base, it has failed to retain residents. Next is Sanya in Hainan. Since the 21st century, Hainan has been positioned by the Chinese government as an international tourist island, attracting significant real estate investment. But today, many of the homes are used for vacation stays or retirement, with very few permanent residents. This is Gui'an New Area. This national-level new area was intended to promote economic development in southwest China and attract high-tech industries. However, after massive infrastructure and residential projects were completed, the actual occupancy rates of industries and residents have continued to fall. Fourth is Tianjin Binhai New Area. Binhai New Area was once seen as an important engine for economic growth in northern China, attracting significant investment. Despite grand-scale developments, industries and population growth have not kept pace. The main reason is that Tianjin's economic transformation has not been as successful as expected, and the area has not been able to attract foreign capital and top talent. Some regions have even become empty ghost towns due to poor transportation. Analysis shows that these cities or regions were all key targets for national development support. The fact that even they have been labeled ghost towns reflects the severity of China's overall downturn. For Chinese business owners in the Middle East, the economic situation in China is just one concern. In recent years, the situation for private entrepreneurs in China has increasingly resembled an endless hunt. Zhang Jingdong, the founder of Suning Group in Nanjing, was once a Chinese billionaire worth nearly 100 billion yuan. However, it was recently revealed that due to the company's massive debt of over 238 billion, he was forced to sell almost all his personal stock, real estate, financial assets, and collectibles to cover the company's debt. On the surface, this has been packaged as a corporate restructuring, with the founder taking responsibility. But on a deeper level, it exposes the fact that China's so-called limited liability system is effectively a thing of the past. When a company runs into trouble, the entrepreneur's personal wealth is still completely consumed. What is supposedly legal protection often amounts to mere words on paper. For entrepreneurs, what is most terrifying is not just the economic failure, but the dark business environment and judiciary system. In a normal market economy, corporate bankruptcy has a clear procedure. Shareholders have limited liability, and if an entrepreneur fails, they can try again. But in today's China, many private entrepreneurs are not facing mere market competition, but policy risks, political interference, local financial pressure, and even the possibility of being targeted at any time. When local governments are short on funds, or when the regime needs to maintain stability, private enterprises with stable cash flow and significant assets often become targets. The assets you have worked years to accumulate may not truly belong to you. Once the situation changes, legal, regulatory, tax, and financial measures can become tools to seize your wealth. Recently, Yu Donglai, the founder of supermarket chain Pang Donglai, has distributed a huge amount of cash to management and employees. Many people see this as a company treating its employees well, but what most feel is a strong sense of insecurity. The entrepreneur would rather disperse all the assets than leave a large amount of cash in the company system, Everyone understands that in today's China, money in a company is not necessarily safe. The bigger it gets, the more dangerous it is. This is not normal business logic, but a passive defense against political darkness and institutional disorder. According to reports, this act of mutual destruction has already angered the authorities, and he is facing retaliation. Yu Donglai has reportedly written his will, ready to fight with his life. On March 20th, news emerged of another private company owner facing trouble. Hengli Hydraulics announced that the company's actual controller and chairman, Wang Liping, had been placed under custody. Hengli Hydraulics is a listed company founded and controlled by Wang Liping. It's headquartered in Changzhou, Jiangsu. It specializes in the research and manufacture of hydraulic components and systems, and it is known as the Hydraulic King. The specific reasons for Wang Liping's detention have not been disclosed by the company. Detention is an extra-legal form of custody used by the Chinese Communist Party, and an increasing number of Chinese entrepreneurs are being caught up in it. Last year, the British magazine The Economist reported that Chinese entrepreneurs are mysteriously disappearing at an alarming rate, with nearly one person arrested every week. It is precisely for this reason that we can understand why some Chinese business owners and workers in the Middle East are still reluctant to return to China despite the war. While war is certainly terrifying, at least the gunfire is visible. However, the political pressure, judicial dysfunction, and the constant threat of assets being seized is truly unsettling. Back in China, people are not facing safety risks, but unemployment, salary cuts, wage arrears, debt pressure, and even harder to predict political risks. For business owners, if they return to China, they could find themselves trapped in an institutional black hole. This is no longer the experience of particular entrepreneurs, nor merely the result of economic downturn, but a dangerous signal of the times we're in. When property is no longer truly protected by law, returning home not only means the risk of poverty, but also the very real possibility of losing one's life.